Okay, hi, welcome to day 35. Oops. I'm tempted to take this top card. I'm just going to take this top card. I'm not going to shuffle them or anything. I'm just going to take the top card. Oh my god, totally switching it up. Okay, easy, easy. Just go right into it. Okay. I can't relate to this card. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. So what comes up for me here is the whole tribe thing, that point of like having the soul fam, the tribe, the village, the people around you that are like-minded, that you can work with and work with, essentially. I don't have that. I feel like very, not isolated, but I feel like I'm still creating that. I feel like I have it more online than I do in my physical reality. Obviously COVID plays a big role, but I have always felt kind of on the outside, or a little bit different, or I've only connected with a very few people I would like connect with. I was never like a big group of friends type situation. I was always like really one-on-one. So there's a little bit of a resistance to this card. There's a little bit of a wall up, I'll say. Yeah, I feel like I've always kind of wanted to do things on my own, or like a coping mechanism, a coping mechanism, or like a defense of mine has been to just like do it myself, be alone, like rather do that than get hurt. It sounds a little cliche, but it's like classic type story, like I'd rather play by myself than play with someone and then end up getting hurt by that someone, So yeah, it's like walls up. So that's interesting. That's something for me to look into and open up a little bit about. Like, there is still a handout between me and other people. I still am keeping people at a distance. I am still distrusting, or yeah, just like distrusting, that's the word. Distrust. Not really sure if who I can trust, or who I can relate to, And part of me is like, it's okay. Right now I just want to relate to myself, Yeah, it's like reconnecting with myself. But, pulled a card and I can see there's a hesitation to the Sisterhood of the Rose. As much as I want that soul family, as much as I want to like create the group of people, create my village, create my tribe, like connect with people, I don't want to force it either. I want it to be natural. I don't want it to be like an obligation, or like I should have more people in my life and I should be more open to people and like wanting to be with more people. But I'd rather just like wait for the right people than force it on the wrong people, So yeah. The other point that this brings up is the beauty and devotion. The beauty part is really interesting because so this brings up a whole point. I grew up, and I've talked about this, very much emphasized on the physical, on the surface, on the look, rather than who I am. And I've been walking a process, the last 11, 12 years, deconstructing that programming and getting back, essentially walking backwards, falling backwards, essentially, to be on the surface. It's like I had stretched myself so much to being just the physical, like, look, the image, right? And now I've been slowly walking back out of the image and into like the deeper parts of me, like until where now I'm like completely immersed in my inner world, in my inner reality, and who I am here. And like creating the depth there, I've been, because of that, more willing to play with my exterior look. Like I did get to a point where I judged myself for placing so much emphasis on the way that I looked. I wouldn't, like, I shaved my head, obviously. I stopped wearing makeup. I stopped wearing clothes that, you know, I was all about practicality. I was all about, like, the look had nothing to do with it. I didn't want to accentuate anything. I didn't want to draw attention to myself. I didn't want to, like, you know, be pretty, essentially. I didn't want to, like, have that be a part of my starting point. And where I'm at now is like, okay, that's enough. I've walked that point. I can now be pretty in terms of, like, playing with that type of stuff. I can wear jewelry. I can wear makeup. I can do my hair. It's okay. It's that those are not bad things. It's who you are within it, right? It's always about who you are. Do I need to look a certain way or to dress a certain way in order to fulfill a self-definition, a self-image, a self-idea? Then that's the problem. But if I'm doing it simply as a point of, I would like to express myself in this way today, I like the way that this feels on my body, I like the way that I look, it's okay, like, even that, it's okay for me to like the way that I look. There is nothing wrong with that. But if I'm placing more value on that than who I am, that's where I have to be, you know, watching myself and, you know, reining myself in a bit. But I'm back at that point now where it's like, now I want to, like, give more time and attention to the way that I look and how I'm dressing and the jewelry that I'm wearing. Like, all of a sudden I want to doll myself up a bit. And I'm like, great, this is cool and this is fun, and now I can, like, trust this because I've walked enough of a process of, like, removing those self-definitions of, like, being only what I look like. I am so much more than what I look like. I know that. And I'll tell you what, I find myself even more attractive these days because I know I have more of a sense of who I am, and I like myself more, and I like my preferences, and I can stand by my preferences. And, you know, that's, like, you know, like they say, confidence is sexy. So hell, you know, I'm gonna own it. Okay. Yeah, so it's just that point of, like, embracing beauty is not a bad thing. It's not bad to be beautiful, you know. Like, I think that there's a lot of, like, well, I don't want to create more of a rift, you know. For me, personally, I placed a lot of emphasis on the way that I looked in the past, and it was the only thing I had going for me. So once I removed that, I was like, fuck, what do I have going for me? And then I've been walking a process of, like, adding more, like, realizing the value that's always been here, which is me as life in the physical, my movements, my idea, like, everything of me is valuable. Everything of me is valuable. Even what I think is a flaw, even what I think is imperfect, even what I think is could be better, or a weakness, or whatever. Everything is actually fucking beautiful of me because I'm life. I'm here. I'm alive, you know? And it's like, that's beautiful. And, you know, if I'm open to learning and to making mistakes, and I'm humble, and I'm not, like, separating myself in terms of seeing myself as more or less than anyone else, then I'm fucking, it's beautiful. Then that's beautiful. And I'm walking my life as a child, learning and exploring and playing, and that's all I can ask and expect of myself. And yeah, just reconnecting with that point of, like, I like to be beautiful, and I like to dress up, and I like to, like, feel good about the way that I look, and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Last point, this also brings up TikTok has been a really cool point of, like, there is a lot of like-minded people that you can connect with on TikTok, and I'm finding it very, like, I am enjoying the connections that are happening, you know, and I see TikTok being a way in which I can kind of form a group of people that are like-minded with me, that do have the same vision and intentions in the same direction as me, and definitely, like, looking forward to seeing what opens up and how things open up. And just gotta face this wall. There's a little bit of a wall there, and I gotta look into why. And if I find it, I will share with you. But until then, see you tomorrow.